See what playing games will get you? Mikey, Mikey, Mikey. Well, I guess you found what you was looking for. Let's turn to. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. Let me get my things up in here. My banners. Oh, look, I don't know what's going on. There we go. How y'all doing? I hope everybody's weekend was really, really good. I watched some fights. I wasn't, I just got around to the zone fights like today. I don't be running to those fights. I have the zone, so I figure, oh, I'll catch it when I catch it. Now the lead story is Mikey playing them games. Y'all know how I feel about Mikey. It's hard to be a fan of his. I do not hate Mikey Garcia. Let me clear that up. I do not hate him. I don't dislike him. But he play games in boxing to me. It's not my job as a fan to make you rich. So either you're in the sport or you're not. I look at like how football and basketball and hockey and all those other sports, how they run their operation. Um, there's games every week, and I know boxing cannot be like that. You can't fight every week, but they have some kind of routine, consistency. All these fighters can fight at least 4 times a year, or they can fight 3 times a year, but at the least they can fight twice a year. It's not like it hasn't been done before, but these fighters are fighting once a year, which that sucks for the fans. And then if you have a fighter who really don't have no compass, I don't know what his goal is. What is he trying to do other than do a money grab? And none against you, Mikey. I mean, I just assume start a GoFundMe page for myself and tell everybody to donate $5 a month to me. I mean, that's what you're basically doing with Mikey Garcia. It's a money grab. And that's good for him, but it's not good for me or my pockets. So if I didn't have the zone, I wouldn't get it to see Mikey. If Mikey had a pay per view, I wouldn't buy it. And now that you lost, Mikey, your stock gonna go down a little bit. But I mean, you're still a good fighter. I don't believe you out of the game completely just because your stock go down just a tad bit. However, my bra strap showing. Sorry. However, it does go down, but that should not. I'm trying to be careful of how I criticize that because I don't like when fighters feel like they can't have a loss or they're nothing if they lose. You still have a career, you still can go on, but I'm judging you by your intent. Your intent is the money grab, and that's cool for you. That's real cool for you, but it ain't cool for me. It's not what I signed up for. I don't support money grabs. That's not my thing. Like I said, any one of us just assume get us a GoFundMe page and ask everybody to donate $5 a month. Eric Gomez is in the building saying bomb squad. What's popping, King? Willie Beachman in the building. Nothing but love and respect for you. Thank you, King. So I'm gonna save Mikey's part of my program that I was gonna talk about because Coach G coming in later, y'all, and we love Coach G, don't we? That's his boy, so I'm saving Mikey Garcia for him. I did write up a story for it, but I'm gonna save it for Coach G, and he's gonna be objective. We're gonna show y'all what being objective is to all of y'all who like to see it. Now, I do want to say something about this past weekend. Sunday, I launched um, a segment in my boxing show called The Health in You. It's about wellness. A lot of y'all didn't catch it. Some of y'all did. A lot of y'all didn't catch it. I didn't warn you, so that's my fault. I put the thumbnail up that morning, but I did say before I left for Vegas that I was going to do a health and wellness show or segment, and I actually started saying it back in August. So I told you guys that I was going to try to do a show before I left. But when you get closer, you're out there shopping, you're trying to dot this I and cross that T, and you get carried away, get distracted, or you have to like postpone whatever it is you said you was gonna do. But I'm a woman of my word, so I did the show on Sunday, and I've decided that every Sunday I'm gonna do a health and wellness show. This is a part of my life, is what I'm doing right now. But if y'all watch the show, you could call it a challenge or you could call it a journey. You walking with me. I'm back on my grind, so to speak. I did stop September 26th, around about that time, to prepare for my trip to Vegas, and I left for Vegas on the 7th because the diet that I was doing, I couldn't take my equipment with me. I juice my stuff. I don't know about everybody else. They can eat it, they can do whatever. I apologize for my bra strap, y'all. Work with me, work with me. But I couldn't take that stuff with me, and I didn't want to be at dinners, sitting up there like, I can't eat and whatever, because I knew I was gonna be moving and moving and moving nonstop. So I stopped eating. I mean, I stopped doing my diet around the 26th of September and started trying to eat. Just eat regular stuff so that when I do eat in Vegas, I don't get really sick or it's not sick. I should say it right. I don't get the bubble guts and be down, out of commission, sitting up in my room close to the toilet. So I did that to prepare for my vacation. And when I came back, I always suffer from jet lag, or however you say it. And so, like all this past week, um, I've been kind of down. I couldn't really hear. You could probably tell in my videos. I still did the video. Life goes on. Show must go on. But I still, you hear me and all this stuff because I have all this. I don't know what it is in my head. It usually take me about 2 weeks to level off, but I can hear better, and it's not frustrating as much. Like I have to sleep that mess off. That only happens if I travel somewhere and then turn around within days and come back. I was in Vegas for like 5 days or something, and so that was too short of a turnaround for me flying. If I flew there and was there for like a month or a couple of weeks, it would have been fine. But I was there for 5 days and I flew back, and I've always had a problem with flying. Don't mean I won't fly, but I always had a problem with flying. He said we still training. Well, let me text him. 1 second, y'all. 1 second, y'all. Because we value Coach G's opinion over here, don't we? So basically, I told you a little bit about myself medically. You guys have to go back and check it out. And I like you could call it a challenge, or but I say walk with me, go on this journey with me. I'm going hardcore because when I go hardcore, it's almost equivalent if you guys do it somewhat. Like you can replace one of your meals with some of the things we'll talk about, or raw fruits and vegetables. Whereas I got to do it all day just to get the same results that you guys. But again, you got to go back and watch it. So every day you're going to hear me say, water check. This is my eighth one. And let me tell you, boy, whew, this was a struggle. This was a struggle. But I probably finished this before the show over. Man, let me take a sip. Let me take the first sip. Whew, it's a struggle. It's hard. I don't know why it's so hard to drink a lot of water in one day. Like I said, people like Floyd Mayweather size or smaller, they can drink a gallon a day. So it's really no excuse for us. You know what I'm saying? You can't say, um, like that's too much water when you got people literally half your size drinking a gallon. Everybody can drink a gallon of water, not kids, not kids, because there is a such thing as too much water. But the challenge for the week was see, I got all this drainage. So excuse me for sniffling and stuff. The challenge for the week, drink 100 ounces of water per day. I didn't say you can't have your liquor. I ain't say you can't have your coffee. But if you think drinking 100 ounces of water a day, um, it's gonna you like you could be able to do that and drink your coffee and your liquor, your milk, whatever. Well, you can't drink milk. If you think whatever you normally drink and you drinking you could do that and drink 100 ounces, by all means, you know. But I would advise that you get your water in first. Work first, play second. The second part to the journey is no dairy, and I list the dairy products. I list cheese. Let me see if I got it still. Cheese, cream, butter, margarine, cereal. I added eggs, dressing, except if it's Italian dressing or something, mayo, and any kind of food where you have to use dairy. So if you're eating biscuits and you had to put some kind of dairy product to include eggs, you can't eat it. We offer dairy this week. And I told you guys, pay attention to what changes you see. Like, I mean, literally, pay attention to details. Look at your eyes, look at your eyebrows, look at your nose, look at your skin, look at your teeth, look at your mouth, look at your hair, look at your skin overall. Just pay attention to what changes. And then Sunday, when you come into the show, we're going to talk about it. So let me move on. If, like I said, the video is posted, you guys can go back and check it out. We're going to do this together, and we're going to see what a difference every day makes. So this is my eighth one. That means 80 ounces because I drank 8-ounce bottles of water. Why? Because I know I can finish them even when I'm tired of the water. I can just go ahead and chug a lug the last bit. If I get a 16-ounce bottle of water, I tend to probably open it, drink some, then, probably drink half, and then I just can't drink it no more. And then I leave it sitting there, and I promise you, I ain't going back. Um, Things that help me out is I have a mini fridge in my room. It doesn't, to me, I feel, and it doesn't like change your electric bill. If some people out there wondering, it's not. I don't see the difference. Um, and I can't afford to be having no high ass electric bill, and my mini fridge doesn't raise it up or anything. But I keep all my water in there because I like cold water. But anywho, water check is 7:45 in the evening of Monday, and I'm up to 80 ounces of water. I need 4 more of these bottles to reach my goal of 100 ounces. I don't really go to bed till midnight anyway. But let's say I went to bed at a regular time, like 10 o'clock. That means I can do that, and I can do four more. And I can do four more bottles by 10. But that's my water check as of now, 80 ounces today. No dairy at all. But like I said, I ain't eat no meat, I ain't eat no dairy, I ain't eat nothing. But I'm back on my grind. But y'all don't have to do that. We excluding this week water and dairy. So here's to you guys. Here's my water. Y'all do the challenge with me. Y'all do it with me. Or should I say the walk or the journey? Do it with me. So let's get to this. Let's turn to on this relevant news. Um, so Frank Warren favors Joe Joyce to defeat Alexander Usyk. And my question is, why is Joyce in the conversation as a potential opponent for Usyk? Now I ask myself that, like, wait a minute now. Usyk just beat AJ, and 9 times out of 10, they're gonna fight again. Tyson just beat Wilder, but he's gonna have a mandatory coming up soon in a fight between Dillian White and Otto Wallin. How did Joe Joyce fit into the conversation? That was my question. Usyk is going to, like I said, he's going to rematch. Fury got the winner of White and Wallin. And I'm like, is Frank Warren trying to bogart his way in as if we don't notice that? If Joe Joyce is up to fight Usyk, I promise you, if everything plays out the way it's supposed to, and the way, somewhere that is fair, Joe Joyce won't even be looking to fight Usyk until maybe this time next year, because Anthony Joshua and Usyk got to March to get it done. And these fighters, they're going to wait till the last minute. So let's say March, their rematch goes down. Dillian White and Otto Wallin is going to get the winner. One of them, whoever the winner is going to get Tyson Fury. Now, you can't rely on this dude for nothing. So your guess is good as mine, because it would seem to me that Tyson Fury wants to be ready for the winner of the rematch of Joshua and Usyk. So it would seem to me they want to get it out the way. But I can tell you, Tyson Fury will not be fighting the winner, either Dillian White or Otto Wallin, not this year. Tyson Fury is done for the year. He ain't doing shit else. I can promise you that. Promise you that. If he do, I stand corrected. But I'm 99.9% sure that Tyson Fury is not fighting no more this year. Now, depending on the date of the fight, because like I said, they have till March, talking about Usyk and AJ. We don't know what date they're gonna pick. Is it January? Is it February? Is it March? But I'm sure that Tyson Fury wants to get a crack at it. Okay. Um, well, I was like, well, again, why is Joyce even in the conversation? Well, then I found out Joyce is the mandatory for Usyk's WBO title. But like I said, he got to wait in line. He has to wait in line. Tyson Fury wanting to go for undisputed, or let's say Usyk had won, or Joshua had won. Joshua, bitch ass. I don't put no faith in him. But let's say Usyk won. Usyk has already told everybody what he wants. He wants to be undefeated. I mean, not undefeated, undisputed. He already told us. So Usyk, I believe him when he say he wants to be undisputed. So Usyk is going to want to crack at Tyson Fury. After Tyson handles his mandatory, and like Usyk right now can't do nothing about it because he has to honor the rematch clause between him and AJ. And while he's doing that, he can't he can't like sidestep Tyson Fury, given Dillian White or whoever's the winner in that fight, they're mandatory. So you see, by the time all of this stuff happened, and we know fights don't be like this. They just don't come like that. Especially when you're dealing with characters like AJ and Tyson Fury. So Joyce, again, in my opinion, at the earliest, it'll be somewhere this time next year. Maybe, maybe not. Tyson Fury might retire. I happen to think that he's going to try to become undisputed again and just, give it up. He made a lot of money. He don't care. The only way he comes back is when he want to get some more money. So I don't know what's going to happen, but to bring Joe Joyce up in the conversation is very distracting and it's not feasible. He's not getting a fight with Usyk. He's not getting a fight with Joshua, and he's not getting a fight with Tyson. Fury no time soon. So, and Joe Joyce is not all that. Demetrius Bright in the building was popping king. He said, "Salute, Queen." He said, "I emailed you at boxing fans. It should what is boxing fans at gmail.com. Is it the correct one? No. Um, it's boxing fans talk. Boxing fans talk. Um, at gmail.com. Drop the TV part. The TV part is my channel. I'm gonna write it up in the chat, y'all. But yeah, I was telling everybody to go back and watch it. Hey, Demetrius. So this is my eighth one. That's 80 ounces. I'm 4 away from reaching my goal of 100 ounces. Anybody want to private talk about this through email? Y'all can use this email. Like I said, for me to go back and talk about everything I talked about, you guys just go watch the presentation I did on Sunday. I'll be doing it every Sunday. And some of y'all gonna go on this journey with me, and I welcome it because we can motivate each other, right? When we know better, we do better. Boxing fans talk at gmail.com. That is my email. So y'all can hit me up during there if you want help with a recipe um, that can help you in certain areas of what you're trying to do. And we'll chat via email back and forth so I can figure out, because I can tailor make your recipe. I can tailor make it that's going to help you. And I know certain things to putting into your recipe that's going to make it pop, you know, get you going. You said, well, I'm at 88 ounces so far. Hey, that's what I'm talking about, King. That's what I'm talking about. See, and I'm just a little bit behind you. That is what I'm talking about. He said, thank you. ah, I know what you meant, player. But my damn thing getting caught up. Yes, Dimitri is on this journey with me. Anybody else want to go on the journey with us? And we can do it together. I meant to say it like that, y'all. 80 ounces. Whew, right here. Them other four, I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and stuff the things down. Demetrius said, "Oh my goodness," he said, "But my belly is bloated." You know what? It feels like that, but it's not. It's not. I can sit down here and geek it out and explain to you what the water does when it travels through your system and all through your kidneys, but I'll spare you. Um, it do make us feel bloated, but it's not. Everybody, when they lose weight or they talk about losing weight, they always talk about water weight. Oh, you just lost some water weight. No, 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 no. As soon as you take a shower, you put it back on. Whatever. I don't even worry about water weight. But when you drink consistently enough water, you will flush out your system. I promise you. And don't look now. You'll be dropping pounds while you do it. Trust me, it's hard. It's hard. Demetrius said, "Don't spare me. Let's go." It's very, very complicated, Demetrius. You talking about the kidney system and how water goes in it and it saves it, and it's like a cycle, and then it release it, and then it's like a teeter totter, up and down, up and down. It's complicated. It's not even worth it. Like to break it down, unless you're trying to be a doctor or some or a nurse. Um, am I a doctor? No, but I've taken anatomy classes. I try to be an ultrasound tech. I got a degree, but I didn't get into ultrasound school. It's very, very competitive. I feel like I could do that type of job because when you're looking at ultrasounds, it's kind of what I did in the military. And when you can look at something that has a picture like that, but then you can see the actual picture. So, like, if I'm looking at something that look like how ultrasounds look or some garbled stuff, and then I could be like, oh, that's a car, that's a house in there, and I have that ability. So I wanted to go to ultrasound school, but around here, they only let like 15 people, but it's 300 people applying. See what I'm saying? I don't feel bad that I didn't get in. I just keep trying every year. And after 5 years, after you take anatomy class, you got to do it again. So I'm like 2 years away from having to do it again. But anatomy classes ain't no joke. Okay. And so all the stuff that I've learned is from experience and just reading on my own, but also taking those medical classes and stuff, trying to get into a program. So trust me when I tell you, you're gonna be flushing out a lot. You probably using the bathroom more too. Not just number one, but probably number two. You said, I'm educated. I think I will understand. I have 2 master degrees, healthcare administration, and an MBA. That's what I'm talking about. So you know how that system works and how it goes through all the different channels and this, that, and the other. When you're drinking water and what it does with your kidneys, and how it goes through the different I call them channels, but like um, see, I see it in my head. Hold on, let me put this book down. So if I drew a kidney like that, and then on the outside is a water cycle, call it a water cycle. So the water comes in, and then it has to release, and then it has to come back. It's almost like a balancing act, and then it goes through your urethra and all that stuff, and then it makes its way all the way through the kidneys process, all the way down through your urethra, all the way down, out your system, and what you expel and what you keep. Everything in your body is a balancing act. So, cheers. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think that you drink too much water is just too much. You're feeling bloated, like you said, but it's actually flushing out stuff. You're actually going through a flushing out process. And like I say, I view it as a teeter totter. It's given and it's taken. But it has to be like this. It has to be like this. And, everything in the body is a balancing act. Everything. And when an imbalance anywhere, well, I mean, how do I say it? An imbalance somewhere is an imbalance anywhere. So, or everywhere. And so that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to make sure you get adequate amount of water and this, that, and the other. It is a such thing as ODing, so to speak, off of water. But that's not what we're doing. Because the advice is, or the wisdom is, drink half of your body weight in water. But I would never tell nobody, if they, let's say you're 300 pounds, I would never tell you to drink 150 ounces of water. That's a lot. I'm struggling with these 8 bottles, and I got 4 more to get in. So before I go to bed tonight, which I normally go to bed late, but I'm gonna use a time that people normally go to sleep, like 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. at night. So I got 4 more, and you talking about bloated, my stomach feel like it's sitting on my lap, and I can't help it. But I know that is needed to flush out toxins. How did you do with your dairy, Demetrius? How did you do on your dairy? So that together with the water, you're basically flushing out toxin. As I said in my show this Sunday, if you, I don't care what diet you do. I'm not here to say my diet is the best or somebody else's diet is the best. I'm telling you, working from a deficit like I have with no thyroid gland, that I stand on this diet and I say it's the best because everything else failed me. Everything. And we not talking a year or two trying. We talking from 25 to now. That's 25 years. Everything has failed but this shit. And it turns out it's the way we were designed to eat. Uh, you said so. Tell me, Miss T. Uh, I had some cheese accidentally. It's okay. Remember what I said. We fall down, but we can get back up. If you make a mistake within an hour, I do this all the time. Like when I do eat, I be making a mistake because two of my pills I have to take every morning is to do the job of my thyroid, and I have to take them on an empty stomach, preferably during my circadian rhythm cycle, which for most people is early in the morning, like 5:30. So I take this, and then I turn around because I'm up now. I put something in my mouth. I eat something, and I'm not supposed to do that because sometimes when you eat stuff or take other medicine with these type of pills, it degrades its potency. So I be like, shit, I fucked up for the day. But after all, tomorrow is another day. Or it doesn't make me, say, well, my whole day fucked up. I just be like, all right, get it together. A lot of my medicine I can't take at the same time. I have to spread my medicine out. I take about 10 pills a day just to live. And I hate it. I fucking hate it. Starting 5:30 or so in the morning. And I hate it. And I would love to get to the point where I don't do that no more. I'm not gonna get rid of the thyroid pills. I can't. Because I told you I don't have the gland. But the blood pressure, the allergy pills, and all that other shit, I'm hoping. So this is the number one derailment of people trying to be healthy is drinking adequate amounts of water. So if you can lick this part, you can do any diet. Any diet, I promise you. He said, Miss T, tell me about what happens if drink too much water intoxication. Yeah, you can. Like anything in excess is too much. Isn't that a sin? In fact, anything in access, sugar in access, smoking in access. I'd be hard pressed to find something that we can't name that would be like in access. It's too much. People can die from. I think they call it water poison. People can die from that. That's you drunk way too much water. It rarely happens because just in this world today, in the world we live in today, people hardly drink enough water. But it is possible to drink too much water. And that's why I say our goal should be at least 100 ounces per day. And like I said, if Floyd Mayweather, who weighs like what 152 or something, walking around, I don't know what he weighed now that he retired, but he on average like 150 something. He can even when he was little, like 146 and 140. Floyd could drink 128 ounces easy, a gallon easy. You look at some of these boxers who are 120 pounds, they're drinking a gallon of water a day. That's 128 ounces. We all can do that. But if you're just starting out, I say aim for something you really could do. 100 ounces. So that's my water check for the day. 80 ounces. Dimitri is at 88 ounces. Everybody else who want to join in, get in. If you didn't start today, start tomorrow. Because every day I'm going to say water check. But I'm going to get back to this work. So I was talking about Joe Joyce basically saying, like getting himself into the conversation. And I guess he's doing it for his career, but just everybody need to understand Joe Joyce will not be up fighting Tyson Fury, Usyk, none of them until probably this time next year. And maybe not next year at all. Maybe 2023. I don't know. It depends on how fast Tyson Fury moves, and we know he ain't gonna move fast. AJ, he be full of excuses at times, and others, they're not gonna rush this for Joe Joyce, and he's got to wait his turn because there's other people in line. You know, uh, Usyk can demand to fight for undisputed. Tyson can demand to fight for undisputed, and that's after they meet their obligations, and that's going to sideline everybody. So Frank Warren, once again, is sticking his nose and stuff, and I guess he repping his guy. So whatever. I'm not getting excited about George Joyce, and I don't think he could beat Deontay Wilder. I really don't think he could be, AJ if AJ ain't scared. If AJ stop fighting scared or being scared, he probably can win a lot more fights than you know that he be avoiding. But he's a scared fighter. I don't put too much credence in Joe Joyce. He's a big guy. That's all. Um, so I'm gonna move on from him. Just y'all know, don't be expecting that fight. Uh, Mayweather. Let's talk about my boy Mayweather. Y'all know I love me some Floyd. Anybody know me know I love me some Floyd. I got his posters all in my garage. I love me some Floyd, but I am objective and I'm not biased. Floyd, uh, he posts something on his IG. He basically tried to show his appreciation for Mark Breeden. Now we could say that's not a big deal. He could do. First of all, he a grown man. He could do what he want. But the timing tells me is more to the story than just a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. He posted on his IG his support for Mark Breland, which is weird because he's doing it after Deontay lost. Now, it's no secret that Floyd has some choice words over the years for Deontay Wilder. And if we are to believe him and Tyson, Mike Tyson, and others who have choice words for Deontay Wilder, if we are to believe them, they just don't like the fact that in their eyes he's not a good boxer. Like they got a problem with the fact that he started late and that they feel like he don't have boxing skills. But their hatred don't explain that. The hatred that they have for Deontay does not match up to why they say they don't like him. I can dislike a boxer like Sean Porter. I don't hate Sean Porter. I'm not a fan of his as a boxer. Why? Because I see football. And I'm thinking I'm gonna see a boxing match and I see a dude that's about to tackle somebody. I don't hate Sean Porter though. That got a lot to do with just him. Maybe he can't do it no other way. Maybe he feel like that's the bee's knees. I don't like it. I want to see boxing, not tackling. And I and when he does it, his head be hitting him. You see the guys react like like you ran into me. I don't like nothing about how he does that. But if it works for him, that's what he does. So Sean Porter could never be my favorite fighter ever because of that. But I don't dislike the man. I don't. Now he did some cool shit here lately, but beside that, I don't dislike Sean Porter. They dislike Wilder almost to the verge that I feel like it's a hatred. And I would love the next time Wilder goes and do an interview to give the backstory on some of these people that hate him. Why? 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 What did Wilder do to you, Floyd? What did Wilder do to you, Mike Tyson? You had Jim Gray even trying to rep Wilder and be like, Mike Tyson, come on now. Really? Remember that on Hot Boxing when Jim Gray was on there? Demetrius said Floyd, the boxer, is exceptional. However, Floyd, the man, is very jealous hearted and vindictive person. Essentially, he is an attention whore. I agree. I don't disagree with you, Demetrius. I love him as a boxer, and I think he was God blessed. You know, that's why I be looking at some of these fighters, and I said, what was for Floyd was for Floyd. If you guys trying to hold on to your old so bad and making all these motherfucking maneuvers, trying, confusing the fans and making us wait for good fights because you trying to have a career like Floyd, well, won't you do what Floyd did? Floyd first year or two in boxing, he fought all the time. Go back and look at the records. It's damn near month to month. But I don't see none of them doing that shit. None of them. I was shocked. I was looking at his record. I wasn't paying attention to the dates. And then, this was years ago. And one day I was like, damn, this nigga fighting every month. If y'all want to imitate Floyd and make the money that he had made over the years or act like you on that level, then do everything that he did. Pretty Boy fought all the time. That's why Money May or TBE has the success he has now. He didn't fight like y'all. Otherwise, he wouldn't be the success he is right now. And see, Dimitri, I'm dieting and my daughter in there cooking up something. It smells good as hell. My stomach hurt now because I smell some good cooking. You gotta have willpower today. Ooh, okay. That's it smells so good. That girl got a hidden talent. I never taught her to cook, but she just that's okay. Um, so it can be viewed what he said about Mark Breland as low key, condescending or there was a jab at Wilder for sure. Um, and or maybe a jab at Wilder's new trainee. He couldn't help himself. Floyd just couldn't help himself. Now again, Floyd's a grown man; he can do what he want, but don't mean that we don't see it and we're not gonna point it out. Okay, so but this is what Floyd actually did. All he asked was his followers. Now Floyd is very popular. If Floyd asked you to do something, your business or your brand or whatever could turn from shit to sugar overnight, like that quick. So Floyd asked all his followers to follow Mark Breland. And Malik Scott feels Mayweather wasn't talking shit about him. It's like he's taking a high road. He wasn't talking shit about him per se, but rather taking his normal shots at Wilder. And I have to agree. Because what Floyd see is we not having it. Those of us who are fans of Deontay Wilder, that's the king. We not having it. Nobody's gonna dethrone the king in our eyes, especially when he don't deserve. Now, if the king, talking about Wilder, was walking around here acting like the Charlos, maybe, maybe I wouldn't have much to say about it. But he carries himself like a king. Therefore, he is a king. He believes himself to be a king. He knows that we, as black people, come from that. We don't come from no damn bullshit. And he carries himself like that. So we don't care who likes it or not. And if there's other people out there that's like, how dare you carry yourself like you're somebody, that's their problem. It's always gonna be their problem. And Deontay don't even respond to half that shit, which that makes him even more strong in my eyes. Because he don't respond to half that shit. What is his crime? That he didn't have a dad that put him in boxing. If his dad could probably choose what field job wise that Deontay was gonna go in, I'm sure he would have wanted him to be a preacher. Floyd, your dad was a boxer. So quite naturally, your dad chose that. You know what I'm saying? Mothers do not typically put their 5-year old sons, if you leave it up to them, to be in boxing because they worried about the hits in the heads and stuff. So are they mad at him because he waited till he was 19 to 20 to get into boxing? And is that good enough to show the hate and disrespect to this man when he does nothing to any of it? But some people can't help themselves. Demetri said, I sent you an email, Queen, so let me know once you receive it. Very important. Okay. Let me just go on and look. You sent it to Boxing Fans Talk. Let me refresh it. Ooh. Okay. Well, it hasn't come in yet. Hold on. Yeah, I keep getting this number from 240 that that calls or show up in my email. I don't know who the fuck that is. And yet every day it comes. Let's see. Demetrius, I don't see it. Maybe it hasn't come in yet. Mm. I'm looking. Y'all bear with me for a second. Yeah. I refreshed it again. Nah. Demetrius say they jealous of him because DW started boxing at 21 and won a bronze medal, while Floyd started boxing out the womb and also received a bronze medal. Yeah, and Floyd was robbed. And so we rock with you, Floyd. We rock with you because a lot of shit that you have faced was all because of racism. And that's the plight of most of our African American fighters. And so we try to support y'all. But I'm not gonna hate a man who shows me he's a king, who shows me he has integrity. And don't ever show me no inferior nefarious intent. I don't never see no malicious intent in Deontay Wilder. And I judge people by their intent. So I do not understand and will not try to understand the hate that they show for him. I don't even care to understand it. So yeah, Malik called it right. It's probably a low key jab at Deontay. Now before Deontay got with Malik, when he had Breland, if everybody can remember, everybody was talking to him like he crazy. You need to fire Breland. You need to get rid of him. He's not doing you good. Then when he does, people got a problem. Like this black man can't fire whoever it works for him. Let me tell you, just because you black don't mean you can't get fired. I don't care who you work for. Just because you black, that don't mean you can't get fired. Now, sometimes the shit can be fair, sometimes it'll be unfair. That's life. But just because you black, your black ass can get fired. So people who mad at Deontay for firing Mark Breland, y'all the ones who got a problem. It ain't his problem. Y'all are wrong on your assessment. Deontay Wilder, as the employer, had every right to fire Mark Breland. I don't dislike Mark Breland. I don't have nothing bad to say about him. I wasn't in the corner. All I can go by is what the man said. He said don't throw in the towel. And true enough, if he felt like he was trying to save his life, cool. Like Robert Byrd tried to save Conor McGregor's life when Floyd almost killed his ass in the ring. I get that. But if your employer tells you don't do it and you do it, all you can say, and if it was me, I walk away and say, I have no regrets. I did what I thought was best, and you're living to see another day. I can't have that on my conscience. And that's how I would explain it to everybody. Don't feel sorry for me because he did tell me not to do that. I disobeyed him. I had my reasons, and he had his reasons. So I wish him nothing but the best. Da 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 da. That's how that shit should have been handled. But everybody acting like they just crying for Mark Breland when they was talking about him like a dog the whole time Deontay was fighting people and knocking people out. Kind of training you got? Your trainer ain't teaching you shit. That was the word on the street, right? So I just say I don't understand it. I really, the next time Deontay Wilder does an interview with somebody, please ask him what is the behind the scenes story with him and Mayweather or him and Mike Tyson or anybody else, some of these old time fighters. What did you do to them, champ? Or what did they think you did to them? Because sometimes they probably was trying to inundate themselves into your life. And it could be something as simple as Wilder saying, no, no, I'm good. I'm good. Y'all leave me alone. I got this. And sometimes people get butt hurt about shit like that. But if that's the case, damn, look at their egos. Talking about Deontay got ego and how he need to bow down and humble himself. When they gonna humble themselves? It just came in, King. I just see something that came in. Okay. Uh, I'll discuss that with you after the show, King. And I'm glad that I like when people be real with me like that because I'm all about trying to help people and get people better. You know what I'm saying? I definitely can help, and I got you. I got you. Uh, it ain't gonna be expensive because one thing too, I don't believe that getting healthy is an expensive thing to do. I'm almost done, y'all. Y'all don't know how it pains me trying to get through this, and I got 4 more to go. I might make it. I might not. I'm close. All right, just let me know. Thank you. Blessings. Yeah, right after the show, I'm gonna get with you. Um, Matter of fact, when we go off air, this thing still be open. So you could stick around and beam in or call in. It still be open. We be off air. Um, let me see. Okay. I said it's like they don't like the people who comes behind them. Do y'all be feeling that way? It's like they don't like the people that come behind them, you know? And see, when I look at this stuff, I be thinking way too deep. Maybe I analyze stuff too much. Cause I'm like, what is the deal? Let us know. If Deontay coming there smacking motherfuckers up the side of the head, talking shit, calling everybody bitches, okay, fine. Now we cooking with grease. Now we like, even though on the camera Deontay acts one way, but when the camera's off, he acts another way. I get it. I get it, King. Y'all just being men. Let us mind our own business. But Deontay is not like that. He's a man of integrity. And I don't see how anybody can have a problem with a man of integrity. He doesn't hurt anybody. Matter of fact, he tries to help a lot of people. So I just don't get it. Um, let me see what else I said. So Mike Tyson claimed years ago he didn't like Mayweather. Y'all remember that? See, just how they treat Deontay make me start thinking about how they just carry themselves in general. Mike Tyson used to ride the hell out of Mayweather, and this one Mayweather was still an active fighter, and I didn't like that shit. I used to be like, damn, and I praised Mayweather. I didn't try to bring it up because I don't want to stir up trouble because these are notable African American fighters, and I don't, want to keep no shit going. I don't want to coon, in other words. But I used to didn't understand why Mike Tyson didn't like Mayweather. And his reasonings was bullshit. I have to say it. It was bullshit. I don't like you because you claiming you the greatest of all time. And I used to be like, Mike, at one time you were too. But why he can't say that? Because you disrespected Ali, and that's my favorite fighter. I don't think Ali would have thought that. Did Ali disrespect Jack Johnson? when he said he was the greatest of all time? Did he disrespect Joe Louis when he said he was the greatest of all time? Did he disrespect Sugar Ray Robinson when he said he was the greatest of all time? Y'all see, I can go all day with that. Ali used to say that as if he is the first African American boxer who became champion. You know, if we use their logic, disregarding all the great past. And I think out of all of them who probably had a better record, period, would be Sugar Ray Robinson, as far as he had so many damn fights. That dude was pure as hell. You know, Joe Louis couldn't be excited after he won a fight. He couldn't say he was the greatest of all time. But you know who was the bomb.com? It was him. Jack Johnson did what he did at a time with goddamn niggas was hanging from trees left and right. Strange fruit, right? But Ali comes along in the 60s, which is over half of the century. And he said, I'm the greatest. And nobody with any common sense heard him say that and say, he's probably saying, fuck Joe Louis, fuck Sugar Ray Robinson, fuck Jack Johnson. He's disrespecting them. Nobody thought that. We thought that this man believed in himself so much that he said he the greatest. And we thought that he was judging himself based on the people he was fighting at the time. Nobody takes of all time that part of the verbiage so literal. Clearly, he was talking about his time as an active fighter. He never, not that I saw, and you know, hey, I'll do research, but I've never heard him disparage or say anything derogatory about previous fighters that he when he wasn't in that era. Talking about Muhammad Ali, never heard it, but he said he's the greatest of all time, and there was so many fighters before him that was just as great. They were great during their era, and then Mike Tyson was great during his era, and so many other were great during their era. And Floyd, according to Mike Tyson, can't say I'm TBE or I'm the greatest fighter ever. I'm the best ever. You know, like he can't say that according to Mike Tyson. And I was like, I didn't understand it. But I was gonna take Floyd's lead on that. If Floyd ain't gonna say nothing, you know, then I need to just go ahead and not say nothing either. But I can't do that shit no more. You said, damn, look at Demetrius. Oh God, what's going on, King? 104 ounces. Damn, you have reached the goal. Ding, 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 ding. Everybody shout out to Demetrius Bright. He reached the goal to 104. You have motivated me because I'm going to make it to 100. I don't know about them extra 4 ounces. Wow. How you feeling? How you feeling? You know, but congratulations to you, boo. Cause you did it. That shit ain't easy, is it? That shit is you probably gonna have to take some breaks to use the bathroom. Hurting now. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah. And it's gonna last about a week. Maybe. I give it about a week or less that you're gonna just be peeing all the time. You're gonna have to pee all the time. But you will get used to it. Just sip it. Like don't try to because that's how you hurt yourself. I'm trying to make it, but again, don't if you just 4 ounces shy or whatever. Sometimes if you just can't do it no more, and I'm not about quit, but people got jobs and people got obligations, and they gotta get out there and go to work and be in that world. And sometimes just drinking a lot of water ain't conducive for that. So I'm just saying that's your goal. That's what you shoot for. Try your best to make it. But I'm assuming that you at home night, like for the night, right? Trust me, you're gonna get better with the having to use the bathroom. Pee as much as you can when you gotta go. If you gotta take a break, pause your thing or get up and go take a break, come back to it. I'ma still be right here. Coach G coming in a few, y'all. He coming in a few. Damn, I've been doing it an hour. Okay, let me get through this news. So I never understood why Ali did it to Floyd. And now Floyd is doing it to Deontay. And it's jealousy, y'all. It's jealousy and it's hating, and they need to stop. Because they are great kings too. We respect them for what they did in that ring. We love them, and it is enough love to go around. I know I sound like wish like soft, but basically, it's enough love to go around. I can love y'all and love Deontay, but I can't. Is y'all make it difficult when y'all down in this man for nothing? Because I don't like people to do bad things to other folks for nothing. To me, the fairness side of me kicks in and be like, no, that's not right. He said bloated. In the morning when I first wake up, I down 16 ounces. Hey, that's a winning strategy. That's what's up right there. I'm gonna try to get on your program then, cause this morning I woke up and I had drank two already. Like I count the water that I drink after midnight. Cause I go on boxing conversation, barbershop conversation with Fred at most nights. And if I'm up, of course that's midnight for me. And so right after midnight, if I'm drinking one or two, for some reason late at night I can drink water like nobody business. But that early part of the morning, from like 6 in the morning to noon, it's the hardest time for me to drink water. I just don't be in the mood. Okay. And like I said, I'm going back to the story. I would love to know from Wilder the behind the scenes stories about why these people feel the way they feel. Um, as far as I am concerned, Wilder is the best heavyweight ever. And I feel that way. He has the better record, and he's the best fighter. Why do I feel that? Because I know he is not the best boxer, but he has the best record of all time compared to them. I'm gonna just say it compared to them, and like compared to other heavyweights. I'm not even comparing him to Floyd. And what if he had started training as a child? Imagine what he would be like today. But maybe his parents did not have boxing on the mind. I know they come from humble beginnings. It costs money to be a boxer, and he's in the country. So maybe they ain't have nobody around to train him. But clearly he was God gifted. So he the king as far as I'm concerned. And I don't know what he has to do for me to dethrone him. He's the king. Sorry. He has integrity, and he's always my champion. And I know I'm not the only one to feel that way. Um, what made Ali so great? If you just think about it, some of these fighters, there's certain things that made them great. Ali, for one, he moved around like a little guy, which was unheard of back then. And they wasn't even big heavyweights like Deontay and Fury and AJ and them today. They were like right at 200, 205, in the 190s. Those were heavyweights during our lead time. But for a big man, he moved like a little guy. So that's one thing that made him pop in people's eyes. Like, damn, and he sounded conceited. He was like, "I'm pretty, I'm a bad man." You know what I'm saying? Which men again didn't talk like that back then. So, and he fought monsters. When I think about the people he fought, like Ken Norton won't no joke, Smoking Joe won't no joke, George Foreman won't no joke, and Ali made it look easy. He was a better cerebral fighter. He could outthink them. He beat them with his mind as well as his body. He should have never been able to beat George Foreman ever, but he did in devastating fashion. That's what made Ali great. Okay, I can't really say that about Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson had a lot of his claim to fame was knocking motherfuckers out before you could sit good in your seat and get your hot dog ready and drink your drink. The fight over. But if you can ever catch the 30 seconds or a half a minute or maybe the first round of his fights, you was like, God damn. So it's things about these fighters that make it pop. Deontay, for someone who don't have no formal training, who started late, and to go from not knowing shit about boxing to becoming a bronze Olympic medal winner to becoming a professional fighter with all those knockouts. He has like 42 fights, no, 45 fights total, one draw, two losses, um, and 41 knockouts. Who in the hell has done that? If that don't make a fighter pop in your eyes, I don't know what will. And he lost to one dude. That's the person he lost to. He don't have 5 and 6 losses. You know, when Sean Porter was out there cooning, and yes, Sean Porter, you was cooning, talking about, well, we gotta stop looking at Deontay Wilder as, a great fighter and more like a potential whatever the fuck he said. The man didn't even ask you that. You didn't even answer the question. But that's what you couldn't wait to say that. That's what we call cooning 101. And Sean Porter, you should be ashamed of yourself. He is great. Tyson Fury great, but Deontay not great. Tyson Fury has one defense of his record. You know what that defense is? Deontay Wilder's trilogy. That Deontay had to drag in the court, kicking and screaming to get that. Deontay Wilder has defended 10 times his belt. When I said record, but I meant belt. Who does that? But Tyson Fury great, but Deontay not. We know Tyson Fury to be a cheater. He has won fights in his lifetime off of cheating. Not just to Deontay, but he great. But Deontay, Mr. No Skill having, according to y'all, knocked damn near everybody he fought. The only person he didn't knock out was, I think he did, Tyson Fury twice. Two of those fights should have been Deontay's. But hey, it is what it is. But outside of Tyson Fury, remains the firm. The first time he won the belt, he outclassed and outboxed this dude. He didn't knock him out. And he let him run it back. And he didn't have to. He let him run it back, and then he knocked his ass out. So everybody he has fought, he knocked them out, to include Tyson Fury. But he not great. He not great, Sean. He not great, Floyd. He not great, Mike Tyson. Any one of y'all did any of that shit? Crickets. None of y'all did that? That's what I thought. Demetri said, but he knocked down every opponent he had. So yeah, that's another record. Everybody who's got in the ring with him got knocked down. And why people say, why are you stuck on he won the first fight? Because you don't count over an unconscious man. Now, if Jack Reese had kept that same energy out throughout his career, because I've seen plenty of Jack Reese fights where he ref. Jack Reese have stopped fights for less shit than that. But this man was unconscious. And even if people say, oh, no, he won't. The man said he was unconscious. Fight over. That means Deontay would have won. But we can't have that. Robbery, number one. Number two, we know about the cheating. I don't even count that fight. Robbery number three came with the second knockdown in this trilogy. Oh, T, Miss T, get over that shit. Stop talking about it. No, I will not. When it serves me to bring it up, I'll bring it up. He went down on the deck. Your feet supposed to be flat on the deck, not your knees, not your hands, not nothing. Otherwise, it's a knockdown. He went down on the deck at 17 seconds. He did not get off the deck until 15 seconds. And at 15 seconds, the referee was saying 8. Now, I ain't the smartest bitch in the world, but I know how to count to 15. I know how to count to 20. So if you go down at 17 seconds, the video shows with the time in the corner, him getting up at 15 seconds. I'm Bobo the Fool, right? That's not a knockout. The fight would have been over. And Deontay broke his hand doing that shit. But we can't, that can't be. You know what I'm saying? It can't be. And for these people who just act like they don't see that, I don't get it. I'm not gonna kill myself talking about it all the time, but every now and then the shit gotta be brought up. And I don't care how nobody feel about it. My show. That's the king. He will always be the king. And if Tyson can be great and Ali can be great, then Deontay can be great. It's just how I see it. The fix was in for both fights, 1 and 3, and those long counts never stop because the mob runs boxing in this racist world we live in. Didn't want Wilder to be 45-0 and undisputed. Yeah, yeah, but you know what? He's still winning. I have to tell myself that because I'm sick of that shit. I get sick every time I think about it, especially when I put down my motherfucking money. I put down 300 on that. I want my money back. But I have to tell myself, he winning. God has blessed them in abundance. And I just won't allow myself to forget that he's a great father. He loves his kids. When we live in a world, and I'm not just regulating this just the black men, with a lot of men who ain't doing shit for their kids, who ain't loving their kids the way they supposed to. When God bless a person with a child, he don't bless a person, he bless two. Dada and mama is the closest word to God that a baby can say. You are God's representation for that helpless child, and you supposed to do work. And this man does it. He take care of all his kids. He sacrificed everything for his kids. He don't slight none of them. He's able to provide a good life for the rest of his family. God has blessed him, and I take care to try to remember that. But I just don't like unfairness, y'all. That's all. I don't, and it ain't gotta be Deontay. Trust me. If you dog out Caleb Plant, I'm gonna be just as mad. Hell, if you dog out Lomachenko, and I don't even think he all that. I like fairness. I'm not laying down for no unfair shit. That's just how I am. So you don't have to be black. It's not a black white thing or whatever. You know, the boxing world makes it a racial thing, but it's not really when it comes to fairness. Not as far as I'm concerned. If that white man won, you better give it to that white man. If that Mexican won, you better give it to him. If that black man won, you better give it to him. And me being black just makes it even that much more important. You know, that's just how it is for me. But I'm gonna move on because I get heated when I talk about the king and the bullshit that people do to him. Now, I do gotta say, while we know that Floyd was full of shit, Floyd, I love you, dog, but come on, Floyd. This is why you know he was full of shit. Uh, Mark Breland never liked Floyd. Did y'all know that? He never liked this dude. He was calling him all kinds of names back in the day. Said he was an overrated big mouth motherfucker, right? I put the motherfucker on the end. But he said he was overrated big mouth. And y'all know Floyd don't do well with insults like that. He actually said that if Floyd was fighting in his era, Floyd couldn't cut it. He couldn't cut the mustard. And y'all know Floyd is so competitive, he wouldn't have liked that. But this is how Mark Breland has always felt about Floyd. And now you love Mark Breland, Floyd. I'm not gonna believe that. Y'all didn't agree with Deontay hiring Mark Breland, and then y'all don't agree with him firing him. You just don't like him. Stop trying to legitimize it Just straight up and say, I just don't like him, and I don't have a fair reason why I don't like him. I just don't like him. Just be the bad guy. We'll respect you more. But I'm gonna get off that, and I'm gonna talk about JoJo the Duck. Shudduck. Y'all, I made up a name. Shudduck. It's when a chicken and a duck make a baby. Shudduck. That's JoJo. That's Ryan Garcia too. So y'all know, I reported this before I left for Vegas. I don't know if it was the end of August, beginning of September, that the WBC had put out that they was like, fine, you and Ryan Garcia, y'all go ahead on and make that fight. But the winner of that fight has to fight Devin Haney. And if you don't, we're going to strip you and we're going to drop you in the rankings. But they never said how far. And the reason why I remember this, because I brought it up to say that the WBC had a lot of heat on them coming out that Val Paz shit, that I guess they was trying to throw a solid at us, you know, trying to give us a cookie, throw a little nugget at us. But I was like, if you gonna drop him in rankings, I'm expecting you to drop him to number 20 or something. And here's the problem with that. If you say you're gonna drop him in rankings, but you make him number 4 or 5, then you didn't do nothing to him. But if you drop him in rankings and make him number 20 or 15, that's gonna affect his bottom line. Because why the hell should a person who's ranked number 20 get a big payday? See what I'm saying? You want to hurt him, fuck with his pay. You want to punish him, punish him. Don't be doing this soft ass shit. Punish him. Don't hear too many white retired boxers hating on any current white boxers. No, you never hear that, Dimitri. You never hear that. So the Chaduck himself, JoJo Diaz. Boy, you've been ducking for a minute. You've been running ever since Mr. Gary Russell put them hands on you. You've been running. You ran right past the 130 division. You thought you could settle down in the 135 only to become a Chaduck. A chicken and a duck. Ain't that amazing? I didn't even know chickens and ducks can make babies. But apparently they can. And their names are JoJo Diaz and Ryan Garcia. Chaducks. They too chicken. Scared. And they duck. They amazingly do a duck dance. So that's why they're Chaducks. But oddly enough, the WBC puts that out there. They throw us a nugget. We're like, yeah, but nobody. I said, pay attention to what they call dropping in the ranks. I mentioned it. I hope that it would take off and other channels would say it so we could put Mr. Cantone on notice. That's Mauricio Suleiman, for those of you who don't know. Put him on notice that we watching your ass. Don't try no bullshit. Don't drop him 2 or 3 spots, because that is not punishing. And we are talking about Mexicans, and we know how you love to move the goalposts for Mexicans. And you moving for Oscar too, who wrote you a letter asking you to hold tight. We, when Tank and Devin move out of the weight division, then my fighters like JoJo and Tio, not Tio, JoJo and Ryan, then they'll go for the belt. Can you hold tight, Mr. Cantone? And to that answer, Mr. Cantone's like, why, certainly, Oscar. I sure can. You are my Mexican brother. I sure can hook you up like that. Thanks for that cash app, Brandon White. Thank you. Thank you. He said they should stop mandating these fights like what the WBA did with Bud versus Porter. You mean the WBO? I know what you meant, player. But yeah, they should. The WBA is actually gonna have some box off. We rose up together and complained, black and white, and everybody beside each other, and said no. That Miguel Fox and Gabriel Maestri shit was an atrocity. Y'all will correct yourself, or we will not stop. I told y'all for like 2 weeks straight. I called my congressman. I don't know what happened. Cause they ain't talking to me, but I sure dropped dime. You know what I'm saying? I will do that. You're not gonna run around here with a nonprofit acting like a business is trying to make profit and you shitting on black fighters. I can't accept it. You don't like a black fighter, then judge him by his content of what he do in the ring. His skin should not play a part in that. You should not show favor to Mexicans because they are Mexicans. That should not play a part in it. And you are the sanctioning body, Mr. Cantone. So you really should not, engage in that type of stuff. You messing up boxing. Don't nobody care about your WBC belt. You say you up the WBO. So going back to JoJo. So we know this just happened a couple of days ago. Ryan Garcia now got a hand injury. How convenient. How convenient. It couldn't be that the WBC put this out a couple of weeks ago. Like, I don't give a damn which one of y'all fight Devin Haney, but the winner gonna take him. And he even had something for the person who didn't win. It mandated that the winner has to fight Devin. If you disagree, you're getting dropped in your rankings. If you, then that's gonna fall to the person who lost. If you disagree, you getting dropped in the rankings. But I'm telling you, Mr. Cantone, if you drop them a couple of spots, then that was all bullshit. You're not gonna just act like you throwing us a nugget and you not. We're not asking for nothing. We're saying be fair. You don't have to give us anything. A lot of these fighters would love to just pull it up from the mud. That's all they want to do. Nobody has a problem with that. People want to do it from the mud. Do their due diligence to make their way in life. Nobody's scared of hard work. You don't have to give a fighter nothing. You don't have to give us black folks anything. Be fair. That's all we ask. Stop favoring the Mexicans when you know they foul. That's all we ask. And I guess maybe it's a priority thing. Maybe if you work with Eddie Reynoso in the Canelo camp, you get more top priority. Maybe Ryan Garcia, you have not made a name. At least Jojo Diaz has a name. He's kind of solidified. At least he has that. You have not made a name, and you already acting like a prima donna. But your hands broke, right? Or something wrong with your hands. So now you can't fight Jojo Diaz. So now you can't fall under the scrutiny of what the WBC said is going to happen. So now it's up to you, Jojo. What you gonna do? Are you gonna run still? You have to fight Devin Haney. You fought for the opportunity to be his mandatory. Well, fucking be his mandatory and fight him. Devin can't fight people that's scared of him. He can't make nobody get in the ring with him. And Devin is his own boss. If Devin say he gonna fight you, he gonna fight you. They're the ones who scared. Demetrius, look, it's just a corner. Oh my God, I'm struggling with this corner. It's a swallow in the motherfucking container. So I'm gonna swallow it and shut the fuck up. Mm. Damn. That's 80 ounces today, y'all. I am so proud of myself. I still got 4 more to go. Help me. But anyway, well, as I say, anywho, yeah, Devin, you ain't got nowhere to run. I don't think it was a coincidence that Ryan Garcia dropped out. I think he heard what the WBC said. They don't have a choice, Ryan. You are the sacrificial lamb. And like I told y'all, I reminded y'all what De La Hoya said. He wrote that Christmas note to Mr. Cantone, begging him not to push any, his fighters to, fight for the championship because we got some heavy hitters. Oh, Mr. Cantone, please don't make my Mexican fighters fight them black fighters. You feel me? You feel me? And Mr. Cantone was like, you got a point, Miss Vera. You got a point. Make sure Miss Vera has my number so whenever she have a problem, and you remember that scene from uh Coming to America, not Coming to America, Harlem Nights, when Miss when what's her name? Damn, Miss Vera. I cannot Della Reese, Della Reese, when she said, "Well, I can't take this fighting and cussing and all this shit no more, Mr. Cantone." That's Oscar writing his letter, and Mr. Cantone said, "Mm, you got a point. Mm, we can't make our Mexican fighters fight these black people. We will wait till they move up to the next rank." That's what it looked like, y'all. That's what it looked. And Oscar, God bless Oscar, he said it in his own words. I cannot make this shit up. English is English. I heard what I heard. I read what I read too. I'm going to wait until Tank Davis and Devin Haney move up to junior welterweight before I allow Jojo Diaz to go for a championship belt. That's plain. That's plain right there. That is plain Chiducking for the Chiduck. The chicken and the duck laid the egg, and his name is Jojo Diaz and Ryan Garcia. Their daddy, you know who their daddy is? Oh no, not the daddy, the big brother is motherfucking Canelo Alvarez. He's a Chiduk also. But that's what De La Hoya said. And so it is what it is. It is what it is. We are all waiting on pins and needles to see what Jojo Diaz is gonna do about it. What say you, Jojo? What you gonna do about it? On a side note, I know some of y'all watched that the zone fight with Mikey Garcia. Like, so I'm waiting on Coach. Where you at? Uh ask him, is he ready? Because that's his boy, y'all. Coach Diaz said Mikey Garcia is his boy. Asking him, is he ready? Y'all, 1 second. Side note. So I'm looking at some of them fights on the zone, right? And there was a fight between Castro versus Luna. I don't know who this Castro fella is. He's a good fighter, but he was big as hell. I don't even know what weight. I want to say they were fighting in the 130, maybe 135. I I feel like it was supposed to be 130, but I don't know the weight class because I've never seen either one of these guys. He beat the dog shit out that dude in one round. Like he had enough time in that 3 minutes to play around with that guy Luna and like just beat the dog shit out of him. He made the dude look befuddled and he was absolutely playing with this guy. And I was like, damn. So now I feel like I gotta follow this guy Castro. I don't know who he is, but he made it look easy. Now Luna, I don't know who he is either. But Luna went the distance with Tevin Farmer. And we know Tevin can fight. We know Tevin a good fighter. And Luna went the distance with him and gave a good fight. So I happen to think, even though I've never seen Luna get down or get busy, I'm happen to think that he might be all right, But with this guy Castro, oh my goodness. I haven't seen an ass whooping like that in a minute. I mean, so that was actually a good fight. Some of them nuggets on the zone, they actually be good fights. You don't know those people, they're not gonna, become big time or whatever. But so let me move on to Teofimo because this is the hot topic. of this week. So we all know that Teofimo was calling Devin Haney the N word. You know, now I can tell you how I feel about it. I would say that he shouldn't have said that. You know, why I say that? Because I feel like he got to keep the same energy. I've watched many Teofimo video clips, whether he clowning around about other fighters on there with Rolly, talking to reporters, Ellie Setback, all them folks. And I just never, ever, ever heard him say the N word. I never heard it in his lexicon. And there, I be on my let me stop saying the N word tip. And sometimes I be like, just fuck it, nigga. I sometimes, I've gotten better because I used to say it a whole lot, but I've gotten better. But today I'm on the, let me fall back a little bit. It's not becoming, you know. I'm gonna try, but I can't make no guarantees because some people make me just roll that shit up off my tongue. But try to stay in the good place and not say it as much. But I never seen Teofimo really use that. I don't think it's a part of his lexicon. I can't say that. 'Cause like I said, he does. He talks a lot. He's out there. I've even asked to see if I can interview him. He has not responded. It was no today. It was no the other day. It might not be no tomorrow. I'm a look, I was gonna say something. I was gonna say the N word. I'm a person who will keep asking, and keep asking. Because it's no today. It doesn't mean it's no tomorrow. But they didn't respond, so I take it as a no. No hard feelings and nothing like that. I actually met Junior, which is to say, it's hard for me to call this grown man Junior, but Teofimo's dad. I want to call him Senior, but he's actually a junior. I met Junior, and he's a pleasant guy. He stopped and he spoke to me, and I walked up on him. I didn't get no racial vibes. If I ain't get it from the father, I doubt if he raised his son that way. I will say this: I'm from the East Coast, and in Virginia, we tend to favor like DC area, Bmore area, and New York. We tend to pick up their flavors. And New York is about as diverse of a city as you can get. I would say it's the biggest or most diverse city in America. Places like Chicago might be a good second, or LA, or other big cities, but New York is the one. New York has so many different types of white people, so many different types of Asian people, so many different types of black people, so many different types of Latino people. It's the most diverse. And I've seen all the way down to DC, even the city I'm from in Virginia. Um, I've seen Latinos call each other niggas, nigga, what, nigga, just kind of like how we say it. I've seen them call black people niggas, and nobody got upset. It's not a big deal. It's their culture. It's the way they talk. It's just like if I call somebody a nigga, it's not the end of the world. I mean, I've said that, and I've said it as a term of endearment. I've said it angrily. I've said it all kinds of ways about your intent, right? So, did it shock me that Teofima used the N word? No, it did. It didn't shock me. I wasn't even mad. But when you start judging and critiquing people, you judge the totality of that person, right? So I say keep the same energy. When you was talking to Lomo, and Lomo has said some things that I thought was crossing the line with you, Tio. You never called him the N word. You only said it to Devin. As of today, that's the only person I know that you said that to. That alone is not enough for me to say that the man is racist. Teofimo right now, when it comes to a racial assessment, is on strike too. He's on strike too. And so, oh damn, we might miss Coach D. So caught up in traffic. Um, so he's on strike too, and I tell you why. I don't have a problem with young men, doing young men stuff, bantering with each other, like talking back and forth, and especially fighters, because that's what you do, You talk about fighters that's in your weight class. Like I would have a problem when CC, i.e., Chris Colbert, was talking about Deontay. You not in his weight class, nowhere near it. You will never probably make as much money as him, and you haven't even established yourself, but you on here talking shit in a negative way about another fighter that has never said anything negative about you. So I didn't understand that, right? I didn't understand it. Talking about Chris Colbert. I felt he was cooning. But I don't feel that way if Chris Colbert was talking about T.O., even though they're not in the same weight class, it's close enough. I didn't feel that way when Teofimo and Rolly was doing FaceTime talking about Tank in a negative way and talking about Devin in a negative way. But there are things that T.O. would say that was suspect, but by itself didn't take me across the threshold of being racial, and that happened way before this N-word incident. So we got two incidents, but Teofimo say something that make me go, raise my eyebrow. It's not quite racial by itself, but you just have to sit back and really just see how he really is. And that's what I did. I sat back and I saw. And so I'm going to say, as of right now, he's strike two for me. And normally I do go by three strikes because at that point, you know better. You're still doing it. I don't know why. But these are things, y'all correct me if I'm wrong because y'all are men. Okay. I can just tell you what I lived and what I've seen. I have a dad, I have brothers, and I don't know men to sit around and be particular about another man's look, like being specific. I know men can pick apart a female. Women, we pick apart females and men. We're more descriptive. Like there was an old joke: if you gonna rob a bank, don't get the money from the female teller because she gonna remember every motherfucking thing about you. She gonna remember everything with how your hair was combed, how many BDBs you had with, did you shave that morning with it? She gonna remember everything. But guys don't look at people that hard. They not that detailed from my understanding, just living in this world. And so I know a man could say, you ugly motherfucker, like talking about another dude. Or a man could say, you look like a damn a hyena or some shit. Like, they could say that about another dude. But for a man to be specific about somebody's eyes, somebody's nose, somebody's mouth, that's a little suspect. Now, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Only two times that happens. But hold on, let me correct that. I'm not talking about comedians because they get paid to be specific and make jokes, and that can happen in a routine, a comedic routine. I'm not talking about when you gotta describe somebody for the police or for whoever, when you gotta be detailed to correct something, correct or wrong. I'm talking about regular everyday life. Men don't focus on men like that. And there's only two reasons why a man will focus on a man's facial parts or be real particular about anything on a man's body. And that's if you're gay or you racist. Now, I said all that to say this is where the first strike came with Tio. Tio and Rolly was online. They was talking about uh Devin and Tank. And of course they was calling Tank fat and all this stuff and Tank ignored him. Devin ignored him, all the stuff that they said. But T.O. went in one day and he was talking about his nose. Oh, he has a wide nose and all this stuff. And he has big lips and blah, 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 blah. So I'm looking, I'm like, it's going a little bit further than just men carrying on the normal banter back and forth about each other. And this kind of sounds suspect. Like, why is you looking at a man's nose that hard? Why is you looking at his lips that hard? And no fighter should talk about no fighter's nose. Because all of y'all shit be looking whack as hell or fucked up by the end of your career. So to me, that don't even make sense right there. Till you have a hump, a hump or some shit in your nose. But it comes with the fighting game. You have one of them typical honkers, like I don't know. You have a weird nose, but that come with being a fighter, right? We all understand that. But you was downgrading this man nose and lips. Now, I said to myself, big lips are ugly when it's on black people, but it's beautiful when it's on other people. Big lips is $1 million business because people are paying money to enlarge their lips. But when black people have big lips, it's ugly, right? And I said, that's what made it sound racial to me. When he was talking about his nose, I was like, damn, nigga, you looking at another nigga nose that hard? I really said that. And I said, well, they in the same weight class. That by itself, what he was saying that day, does not make him racial. But it made me raise the eyebrow because I would say in your defense, TL, I do not think you're gay. So, we're going to leave that one out. But I'm just telling you two ways that men critique other men that specific is either they gay or they racist. Now, if you think big lips are ugly and big nose are ugly, then I guess all black people are ugly for the most part. Because that is a trait that we typically have. There's no other way for me to look at that, TL. There's no other way for me to look at that. You said his lips are big and that makes him ugly. You said his nose is big and that makes him ugly. Him and every other black person got this problem. So we're ugly. How can you say that? Again, because I'm a fan of TL, I was like, that by itself is not racist. Fast forward years later, maybe a year or two later, and you calling the man an N word. You're from New York. I understand. Y'all do this all the time. Y'all do this amongst yourselves, amongst your own kind, and you do it with other black folks. That alone won't make you racist. What makes me raise my eyebrow is I have to think. You see TL talking a lot, but hardly ever have you seen him, use the N word. That's not even in his lexicon. You hardly ever see him. There's other people that talk crazy to him that were not black. You don't call him a nigga. See, I look at intent. And right now, TL, that's two. Because I'm judging you, the whole of you, not just different parts. I'm judging you because I'm telling you, you're starting to look racial. You're starting to look racist. And I am a fan of yours, TL. But, I don't want to like somebody who don't like me because I have big lips and I have a big nose. So I guess I shouldn't like you. I shouldn't spend no money on you because I have no value. You're gonna come right out and say it. This is what I mean by you hurt your brand. Cause that's how I'm seeing it, you know. But he's young. If TL was in his 30s, it'd be like no excuse. I'd be riding his ass hard because you should know better. TL's like what 24. He don't know. I got kids who's a couple of years younger than him. They just don't be knowing. They don't be knowing. So part of me or the mom in me wants to give him a little of the benefit of the doubt. But I know somebody gonna see this, and I know TL is probably combing the social media. I hope he run across mine. I have texted him today and other days and was asking for an interview. So you know who I am. I know you know who I am. You can look at my thing and my channel and you can see what I'm saying about you. I'm a big fan of yours. But if you don't like black people, I guess I'll fall back. I don't have to spend no money. And contrary to what people think, the biggest racial group, the one racial group that spends more on American economy per year is black folks. We put in $1 trillion a year for whatever reason. We spend on this economy more than any other racial group, and we only make up 13% of the population. If we all stop spending today, or stop, if we had got together and said, "Hey, don't no black person buy shit for a whole weekend." Well, when we gonna do it? Let's set it for whatever date, and then all black people, just one weekend, don't buy nothing. Y'all gonna feel us then. We buy shit. We help this economy. We buy more pay-per-views than any other group. But if these fighters gonna devalue us and tip their hand, then it's okay. I'm not begging for your acceptance. If you don't like black people, I can keep my dollars to myself. That's all I'm saying. So Tio, watch yourself. Get some education, and find, ask your daddy. Your daddy should know. Grown men don't specifically, unless I'm wrong, y'all. Grown men don't specify body features of other grown men. They just don't do it. The only time you hear that is when somebody is gay or they racist as hell. It's the only time you hear it. You really don't hear it no other time. So which one are you, Tio? I I'm gonna rep you and say I don't think it's gay. It might be racist, but I hope that it's not. And I'm gonna reserve my conclusion to my assessment until I see another infraction. I don't care if the infraction is 2 years from now. You already got two strikes, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm not gonna be mad at you if you are racist. I'm not mad. I ain't gonna hate you. I ain't disliking you. I wish you the best. But I will keep my dollars to myself. And I would suggest all black people do. If you don't like us black people, tell us up front so we don't have to spend money on you. Do us a solid. I'm buying the pay-per-view of Canelo and Caleb Plant. Guess who I'm buying it because? Guess who I'm trying to support? Caleb Plant. He's a white guy, right? You don't have to be black for me to support you. You have to be fair and just. And then I'm all in. But if you don't like me, tell us, let me know. I can save my money. So that's how I feel about the N word. I ain't quite all the way there to call him out as a racist. Um, Other people who've been following his career probably longer than me is already there with that. But you young fighters better be careful. You better be careful. You better learn. What's the song? Know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. That song exists for a reason. Study your history, so study your audience. You always should know your audience. Know who you're talking to and in front of. Know who you're trying to persuade or inform. Know your audience. So Coach D, I don't know where he at. He in traffic, so I'm gonna get on with this Mikey Garcia. I ain't got much to say about Mikey. Y'all know I told y'all Mikey is on a money grab. I don't have to support that. I don't dislike Mikey. I don't hate him. But he on a money grab, but he ran up on the wrong one, didn't he? Sandar Martin was not having it. He did win that fight, but Mikey was trying to fight. I ain't, it wasn't a skull. It wasn't. Sandar did not demolish Mikey. Mikey was really in it, trying to win, and he looked good. He was big as shit too. He looked big as hell. But Sandar said he didn't think that he was a natural 140. It do kind of look like that because I'm like, damn, he big as shit. Like it's just out of his realm. And Sandar made him pay for that. You ain't a natural 140, don't come up in here. I guess that's what Sandar Martin was saying. Mm, I said that's what his ass get. I see something. Mikey, I see something. Garcia. You was in talks with Prograis. You dropped him off. You did some unfair shit. and then you went over there and tried to fight Sandar Martin like you was gonna push him over, and he wound up beating your ass. That's what you get. That's what you get. Now this guy career is gonna be uplifted. He's only fought, I guess, in his country. This first time he fighting in America, and I hope to see more fights from him. He's actually a good ass fighter. He's actually a good ass fighter. And the first round, Mikey was working him like he was gonna get him. Second round, I could see Mikey trying to do it, but the first round I didn't give it to Mikey. I gave it to Sandar. But Mikey was like, oh, like, don't worry, I'm gonna get you. Make one mistake, I'm gonna make you pay. And I was like, oh shit, this gonna be a scrap. Mikey had no answer for this guy. One thing I did like, and the showmanship or the sportsmanship, uh, the lights went off, but it didn't just click go off. It was a dimming, then it click went off. Both of them stopped what they doing. They let their hands down. They backed away from each other. I love that. Like, I mean, it shouldn't mean that much, but I thought that was a beautiful display of sportsmanship because Martin was going to hit him with the lights doing that, and Mikey same thing. So kudos to them guys for even showing that respect to each other. Because had it been some other people, they probably would have threw a punch. As some people can't help themselves. But Coach G, I was gonna let him get into it and cook on it because one of his favorite fighters is Mikey Garcia, and but Coach G says too, just so y'all know, that Mikey lost that fight, but it wasn't a skull. But again, Mikey, stand for something because I'm not trying to make you rich, on your last part of your career. You're not trying to be a champion. You're not trying to be unified. You're not trying to be undisputed. Why should anybody pay for you? And I won't do it. I won't do it because, you know, probably because to be honest, you saw something and you came at Earl with that bullshit. Probably my bias in me is like, you saw something, Mikey. I see something, Garcia. But before that, I never really thought about Mikey. And again, I don't hate Mikey. And for the record, I don't hate Tio. But Tio, if you don't like big lips and big nose, and you pretty much saying you don't like black people, let us sister know. We can stop patronizing you. Just go on and put that out there. Let us know. We not mad. Hey, we not mad. Just go on ahead and put that out. Let us know so we can stop this gravy train right now. But anywho, I talked through this whole thing, and y'all can always call. So I'm gonna sit here for a second or two, and see if y'all want to call 706-804-4449. 706-804-4449. Yes, we gonna talk a little bit about this weekend. I'm up to 80. As soon as I get off here, I'm gonna drink another one. I'm gonna drink it fast. Demetrius, I'm proud of you. You reached the goal. I'm following in your footsteps. I'm gonna make it to that before I go to sleep. Remember, after midnight starts your new day. So if you knock out two of them or something in the middle of the night, that's even better, right? So, this is hard. This is real hard. I don't want to drink nothing else. I don't want to drink shit else. You hear me? I don't care what it is. You can sweeten it up. You can get. I don't want to drink nothing else, but I will. And if I fail, I'll promise you guys tomorrow I will tell you. I will tell you the truth. Let me see if my phone lines was open. They were. Yep, they were. Uh, and earlier I had put a link in the chat. So, anywho, like Demetrius. Now let's see if we can do day number 2. Oh Lord, I'm gonna roll right up out of this chair like y'all got to roll me to my bed. Man, it's a lot of water, but I know it's good for you. And thank you, Demetrius, for working with me. I'm gonna get in touch with you. Like I'm about to sign off, y'all. Nobody had nothing to say. Last call for alcohol. Y'all check out my end video. I just made it not that long ago. I got to get better with this stuff. But here we go. Peace out to y'all.